show.
Yes.
If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you again for hanging out with us. Today's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a shorter episode because let's face it, we're trying some things out because nobody listens to these long episodes. So we're trying something new out. So this is going to be a little bit shorter.
Yeah. This is like a little experiment.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be no CayVin news. There's going to be no Mushroom Galaxy. We're just going to do the main segment that we would have done on the episode. And this episode is going to be, what is it?
This episode is going to be Streams of the Month.
Yes.
Streams of the Month for May.
There you go.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's probably going to be a short episode.
Yes, that's the point. This might be, this episode might be called
the shortest ever.
Yeah, it might be called the shortest ever. You took that out of my mind. It might be called Streams of the Month and it might be called the shortest ever.
Yeah.
Wow, it's literally same thought, same.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first movie.
Okay.
What have we been up to this month?
What have we been watching? Okay, I think we should start off with like the most mind-fucked one.
With the most craziest, the most relevant show.
Yes.
Ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty. Who even watches that anymore? I'm so far back. I started from the beginning because.
Oh, we really started with Ugly Betty.
We should just mention it.
By saying that. Okay, we'll mention it.
We'll just mention it.
It is an old show. I watched it like when I was in high school the first time. I just always enjoyed that show, but you're getting into it.
Yes, exactly. You told me that I'd like it, and I took your advice, and here I am starting the 4th season. We'll revisit Ugly Betty maybe next month because we plan to do Streams of the Month every month, right?
Yeah.
We have plan to have a monthly thing because we try and watch movies and shows and stuff.
Yeah, that might be monthly, might be every other month. We'll see what happens.
You never know. But one of my favorite watches from this month. So M. Night Shyamalan. What is it? Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know. But he just recently came out with a new movie, and it was on HBO Max, and it's called Old. And if you have not seen it yet, oh my God, just sit down and buckle in.
Here's the thing I want to talk about in these Streams of the Month. Are these Streams of the Month episodes spoiler or spoiler free?
Oh.
They have to be spoiler because
they have to be
we're
spoiler.
recommending these movies for people to watch, but we got to talk about them.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not just going to be like, watch this and move on. Like, that'd be no fun. Like, we kind of have to...
We kind of have to talk about it.
We kind of have to.
Yeah, exactly. So if you start getting interested, then you can always just look for the next timestamp in the episode.
Right.
And then, just move on to the next timestamp where we talk about the next next episode, the next show or next movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll start, I guess, talking about it like slightly and then get into spoilers before we talk about it.
We can talk about like the plot of it.
Yeah, so basically, what is the plot? Because the plot, like you see the plot from the trailer, but the plot isn't explained. So I guess we'll explain the plot and then we'll say the plot and then explain it.
Exactly. Yes. So in this movie, you see a family go to a resort. They visit, and there's other families there, and you're noticing that there's some like. There's something off, right? There's like a lady having seizures. There's, like everybody just seems to be sick, right? Especially like these people that are going to this island. So they end up on this island, and basically like time is moving how fast?
So they end up on this beach, and if you see from the trailer, they start as kids.
Yes, and then they're like
on
teens.
This beach, and then all of a sudden within like hours they're full-blown teenagers. Full-blown teenagers.
Yes.
Wow, I can't talk. I'm losing my mind.
It's good.
Yeah, so basically, I guess, like I said, if you want to go ahead and skip ahead, if you already like it, go ahead and skip ahead to the next timestamp. But basically what they find out is this beach is surrounded by a certain rock,
like a rock
or
wall.
certain mineral of a certain rock wall with certain crystals in it. They basically make your cells move a lot faster.
Yeah. Yes, so you age quicker.
Yeah, so you age quicker. And that's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool, but it's also crazy like how the kids were basically growing, and then there's a scene where, spoiler alert, these two kids they started as kids, but of course they're growing so fast as the minutes go on. I forgot what they said, like a day was like 30 years?
30 years.
Or something like that.
Approximately.
It was so
So quick.
And let's talk about the most important thing. Do you know about movies?
That was like my favorite line from the whole movie.
If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But
basically
what you find out is all these. Well, we need to go back to what happened with the kids, but we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
Basically, what you find out is they are all sick patients, and they're usually using this beach.
Not all of them. I think it's like one or two from each family.
Basically each family. Yeah. And they're using this beach to basically run, like they're watching them to run
Yes.
tests on them to make medicine, because they can test medicine a lot quicker on this beach, because if basically time goes by fast according to your cells on this beach, and they can, like, for example, the lady that had the seizures, they gave her a drink. She didn't know what it was, but they're like, oh, here, have this refreshment. They gave her a drink at the hotel, and then when they took her to the beach, she didn't have a seizure until, like, you know,
until like she was older.
Basically
so it basically
older.
like paused her sickness for like all of, you know, a day, but all of these years, right? So it basically will like extend their like life.
Yeah, so that's
in
a
a
way.
way.
So that's essentially the twist and the turns that come with it, is because it's like, it's so wrong and crazy, and then like, well, is it wrong and crazy because they're making medicine and
now they're going to be able to
and
save hundreds of other people.
Yeah, it's just it's so crazy.
It's like you don't know how to feel.
Yes, exactly. And then there was that one point where the two kids are growing, and then they're going through adolescence, and all of a sudden they walk out of the tent, and one of them's pregnant, and they're like, "What did you do?" And they're like, "She's like, I was just playing." And they're like, "Well, according to this time on the beach, she's about to go into labor any second." They're like, well, "These kids were literally just 8 years old a second ago," and they're like, "What is going on?" Like they're freaking out. There's lots of those funny freak out moments. Though.
Yes,
I mean there is some comedic moments in that movie, but then the baby, like, what happened to the baby? The
baby. So you said she's about to give birth any minute. So of course, within 5 minutes, the baby is born, and I'm sorry to say this is a spoiler alert, but the baby dies like immediately because of the time moving. They put it down for a minute, and the time's moving so fast, it's like neglect. So it basically like needed so much attention in a short amount of time that it wasn't able to get that.
And then by the time they went to like, and it's so crazy because they're, you know, of course this is a M. Night Shyamalan movie, so there's going to be death that's involved, and even the deaths that happen on the beach, their body like disintegrates within like hours.
Yes, like turn to bones, and like it's so crazy.
They're like, that shouldn't happen. Like, that should take years or something. This movie was so insane.
Yeah.
But
I'm noticing that like we're talking a lot about the movie, but you still like have to watch it because there's so much more else that goes into it. Exactly.
That's true. So even giving some spoilers, it's like,
because you have to know about every character, and
we give the ending.
Exactly. We're not. No, we're not. Yeah, you got to watch it. You got to watch it to see what happens, for sure. Yeah, but definitely recommend.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was great. That was great. What's the next one? We gotta go into these real quick. So Batman.
I loved it. No matter what anybody says, I loved it because I have never, to be honest, I've never seen any of the other Batmans, and this one has to be my favorite one because of like the horror aspect of it, and Robert Pattinson, of course.
Yeah, if you didn't like it, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, because it was a change that I guess DC tried to be, but never could like master up until this point. I mean, even now at this point they mastered it, but it took so long. It was a long movie, but it was worth it. It was worth it. There was lots of scenes, I mean, this is the direction they needed to go. Stop this over like Marvel's already mastered the over the top superhero.
That's what I was gonna say.
So give your superheroes a little edge. And I understand they've been trying to do that for the longest time, but they just, you know, it takes a lot of trial and error, I guess.
Yes.
You know, I really think they got some here with this Batman.
Yeah.
You know?
It would be cool if DC, like you said, like Marvel keeps the superhero aspect of it, and DC kind of is like more like horror type, like, you know,
it's kind of horror suspense. But then again, we haven't seen Doctor Strange 2 because that's supposed to be more of like a horror thriller.
Yeah. That'll definitely be on our June watch list. So
yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
Disney Plus.
I don't know. It wasn't even. There was just a different aspect that DC hasn't done, and I can't put my finger on it, but there was just a different aspect. That made this stand out.
I love Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, that was good. And I love how they never really like called her Catwoman, yet she had cats,
and then they never really called him Batman.
Exactly,
that's what it is. It's like they're like skipping. They're like basically at this point they're like, even with speaking of Marvel with Spider-Man, they didn't even explain the whole you know, getting bit by the spider. They're like, you already know the story. We've had 20 Batmans, we've had 10 Spider-Mans, we have 5 Hulks. Like, you understand the story. We're not going to explain everything.
Tom Holland didn't need to get bit by a spider.
Yeah, exactly. He just mentioned it. Like, they always mention it in passings. This is definitely going to be a different universe from Joker, though, right? Because obviously there's a different Joker at the end of this one. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but everyone's seen it by now. So at this point, we're
I think we were late to the party.
Yeah, we were definitely late to the party. But I just, for what it's worth, I enjoyed it. I don't know how anybody like Christina P. I love Christina P. But she's like didn't like this Batman. She's like, oh, he's all emo and this and that. It's like, but then you like Hawk from Cobra Kai, like, you know.
Literally.
I love Tom and Christina from Your Mom's House, but they're becoming boomers.
Yeah,
they're really becoming boomers.
For sure, that's like a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I know. I literally want to get into that, but I'm not. I'm gonna stop. And like I said, I need to stop saying literally. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Why do I say that?
We also do say
basically.
Yeah, basically. Literally.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
We say there's lots of
essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
What the heck?
Essentially, we say that a lot.
Yeah.
It's just the way the brain works, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Free Guy was a good one.
Oh my god.
That
Like
one.
really like messed up my head because it made me rethink everything.
It made me think. Yeah, it made me rethink life itself.
It made me think that everybody is an NPC.
Now I'm like telling you stories like, hey, you see those cars on the side of the road? Every time we come outside, it's always the same white cars, the same white SUVs, and the same. It's like it's almost like, and it's like even the ones that are colored, it's like they just print in different ones, and it's just like I'm always looking for things now to try to prove. And then at one point, remember I told you I was like, maybe I'm an NPC, and you're like, why? I was like, I get up and I just, I do the same thing over and over again.
I feel
maybe
like we
I'm
all
the
do.
NPC.
I mean, everybody. If I can't even talk. Everybody has a routine, so maybe that just proves that like.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
Well, good news is we won't spoil Free Guy because that's one of those movies where it's like so much happens and it's so good, but you're like, I couldn't tell you.
Exactly.
Because I really don't know how to explain it. You just got to watch it.
Yeah. It's just one of those if you're really into like simulation and like
video games.
Video games. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. This is definitely like the movie for
obviously,
you.
if you're saying if you don't know, when we say NPC, that stands for non-playable character, which is like the AI in the video game. That it just like walks around.
Not real.
Think Grand Theft Auto, the pedestrians that are just walking around. If they had their own actual lives that they went through every day, but then one day they become like aware, self-aware. It's basically like AI becoming self-aware through video games. Yeah. But it's great. It's great.
It is great.
Sonic 2 was great as well.
Oh my god, I loved that movie.
Man, did I like that movie. It was like, I had to give it the benefit of the doubt because
it the nostalgia?
For the nostalgia, there was a lot of cheesy moments. You can tell it was geared for kids.
For sure.
There's a lot of cheesy moments. But, like I said, the nostalgia for not only Sonic, the nostalgia and the respect for Jim Carrey, and that this might be his last movie. I hope not. But they left it open. I think they left it open. Spoiler alert, we're about to get into some stuff here, but the emeralds bringing like all the video game elements, like when Sonic was running through the temples, like the temple area, of course. Dr. Robotnik was in the Mushroom Kingdom. That's from Sonic and Knuckles, the game on Sega. I grew up. Those were the first games I played because I had older brothers that had Sega Genesis and that got into Nintendo 64, and PlayStation and Xbox and so on. I went my own way. While my brothers were going into PlayStation and Xbox, I kind of went my own way with Nintendo GameCube and Nintendo Wii. But then I circled back around.
You came full circle.
I basically missed the PlayStation and just circled back around to the Xbox because I don't know what it was. I just never have been into play. It's so hard for me. I try and I try. PlayStation, I just never. I don't know. Yeah. It's always that's why I geared off to GameCube and stuff, and then came back to Xbox. Nintendo and Microsoft have always been cool, but I really never got into PlayStation. Maybe it's because I think Sega should have took that place. Sega should have went a lot longer than it had, but this is all Sega has now is Sonic.
That's really true.
No more real games, no more real consoles. It's just like this is their last ticket before they fully go under. Is holding on to this Sonic franchise. But nonetheless, I grew up playing these games, and I loved all the elements they had in this game. The 7 Emeralds, spoiler alert, the Super Sonic. Yeah. It was just so awesome.
Even as like the chimes and the sounds.
Chimes, the sounds, how everyone that played Sonic hated water levels, and even Sonic says that when he has to go underwater again, he's like water again. You gotta be kidding me. The bubbles when you're in the water level, they should have just did only thing they were missing is the sounds when you grab the bubble and the sounds when you're about to drown, where it's like tin 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 tin. That's the only thing they're missing. Knuckles was great. Yeah. They made him kind of like a strong idiot. Yeah. But it worked. And it's so cool.
Yes. He didn't understand anything.
Yes. And then Tails just.
I love Tails.
Yeah. I love Tails. I'm just going on, but it just was one of those movies where it's brought back the inner child in me. Yeah. Is so happy.
I do love that because I enjoyed watching the movie with you, and you're like, oh, that's from the video game, because I would have never known. So I thought that was just so cool how many times they put the little things in there.
There's so many video game Easter eggs. If you've seen it and you didn't really catch them, go back and look for them. There's even an Easter egg of Jim Carrey, what Jim Carrey would look like if he was modeled after the actual video game version of Dr. Robotnik. So they show him when they're trying to change up a tire. They show him being a little bit chubbier with the actual real ugly face and mustache. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Perfect. It was perfect.
They did leave it open at the end, right? You think there'll be another one?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be another one. So spoiler alert again. They left it open in the end for Jim Carrey, Dr. Robotnik to come back, and I even told you like with this multiverse thing, multiverse doesn't just span to the Marvel universe. Now we know DC's doing it. Basically, after entertainment and media right now is gearing your brain to understand that basically all these movies and all these production companies are going to have their own multiverses.
That's very
true. So they can literally just go and change. They can hire this actor, do it again. Oh, it didn't work after 2 movies. Okay, hire this actor, do it again. It's already happened the past 20 years. We're just going to get accustomed to, oh, okay, there's a new Wolverine. Oh, that's from the multiverse. Oh, there's a new Sonic. Okay, that's from this universe.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a new Leatherface. Oh, okay, obviously that's the Leatherface from another universe.
Yes.
It's not the same. They can start doing 2 different types of the same franchises side by side because people are just gonna understand. Oh, okay, that's from a character from a different universe.
Yeah,
it's like they're smartening us up.
Yeah, exactly.
In that way. So with that being said, it could be a Dr. Robotnik from another universe that comes back, and they just get someone else to play him.
Yeah. But I feel like it won't be the same without Jim Carrey. Yeah. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it really won't. But Shadow. Now, like I said, that's what I said when I geared off to GameCube and stuff, because Shadow wasn't around in the Sega Genesis era. Shadow didn't come about to the Nintendo GameCube era.
Yeah.
Like I said, one of my favorite Sonic games of all time, which is actually one of the most worst rated Sonic games of all time is Sonic Heroes. I think there's one that's a few that are lower than that. There's one video game where Sonic falls in love with a real human and they kiss and stuff, and it's like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, so and then there was like the Sonic video game with Chaos, which was like this water Sonic. It's like, okay, you had a robot Sonic, you had a dark Sonic. They didn't know what else to make, so they just made a video game with a Sonic that's made out of water.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was actually Dreamcast, but I may be wrong. But anyway, I forgot Sega Dreamcast was in there. That was like their last ditch effort before they died in the video game or in the console making world. But Shadow was around for Sega GameCube or Nintendo GameCube rather. And man, that was probably, besides Sonic, of course, you gotta love Sonic. Shadow has to be my favorite, and they're opening up for Shadow. I sound like such a fucking nerd.
No, I love it. So he's like evil Sonic, right? Basically. Is what you explained to me?
Like a dark Sonic.
Dark Sonic. Yeah. Okay, see, that'll be cool. That'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, I was like literally going on and on, and in my brain, I'm like, why do you sound like such a nerd right now? Just stop.
I'm sure there are plenty of other people who know that can agree with everything that you're saying.
Oh yeah,
excitement wise.
Yeah, see, that just goes to show how mental block can hold you back. People got to get out your own head sometimes. What's the next movie we got?
The next movie we watched. So we attempted to watch this Level 16. So, I think
I've been talking a lot. Yes, you go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think so. I would say that. What would you say? How much of this movie do you think we actually watched, or when do you think we actually dropped off?
At one point, we skimmed through the movie, and I was narrating the movie as we were skimming through it because it was so predictable. It's like, all right, they're going here, they're trying to escape, didn't work out. Now they got to pretend to go back. Okay, they're promising they're going to see each other again, and then blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to stop saying literally, people. It was one of those that TikTok recommended, and
it looked good.
It looked good, but now I realize those TikTok pages suck because it did suck. And there was another one that got me on. It's a movie called Downsizing, and it's actually has Matt Damon in it. It's about people that are normal, but then you can shrink. It's like a whole community of people that get shrunk. And when you shrink, you can basically afford everything. You can afford a big house. You can afford all the diamonds you want. Because if you think about it, when you're shrunken, everything is smaller. So you're really just... the big mansion that you want is just a smaller scale, so of course less materials.
Wow, I would shrink too.
You literally I had to cut myself off.
All right, guys, we'd like to take a moment away to talk about your internet security. You know how every website you visit nowadays makes you accept cookies? Well, it turns out what you're accepting is not only for that website to store your personal information, but to also sell that personal information, such as location and interest to hundreds, if not thousands of ad companies. And that's just the surface of it. That's why you need a virtual private network that protects your internet connection and privacy online. That's where NordVPN comes in. NordVPN creates an encrypted tunnel for your data and protects your online identity by hiding your IP address from websites and hackers, while also allowing you to use public Wi-Fi hotspots safely. Just click the link in the description of this episode to get a huge discount on 1 and 2 year deals. After that, it's just as simple as turning it on with the click of a button, and NordVPN will run in the background of your device to protect your online security and mask your location to whatever country, state, or city you decide. Again, just click the link in the description of this episode and sign up to take control of your online security today.
All right, guys, it's time to talk to you about your health and fitness. And of course, if you know me, you know that I'm transparent, and I'll be here to tell you, you do not absolutely need supplements to see results in your fitness goals. However, I am a believer that supplements do really help in your fitness goals. You are going to get better results, maybe even faster results when you do use supplements. And honestly, supplements just help sometimes, especially pre-workouts, because they help you just want to get up and go to the gym. Energy drinks don't do the same really as pre-workouts. Energy drinks have hundreds of flavors, and yet they only do one thing, and that's just energy. But with the pre-workouts from Insane Labs, they do more than just stim you out. They ramp you up so that you reach your highest potential at whatever it is you decide to do. Of course, when you pair their energy pre-workout lines, including Psychotic Gold, Psychotic Test, Red Rum, and Possess, with their NO2 boosting Insane Veins and Insane Veins Gold, you get an unmatched combination guaranteed to help you murder your workouts and kill it in the gym. Seriously, that NO2, that's basically a nitric oxide booster. What that's going to do is actually expand your blood vessels in your body, kind of like a water hose. If a water hose is flat, when you turn on the water, those vessels expand. You're going to get maximum blood flow to your muscles, and you're just going to get these insane pumps in the gym. I personally like their pre-workout strain. It's made with hemp. It's actually more of a mellow stem. It's not going to really get you too much of the shakes, but honestly, this stuff is really good, especially if you work out. This is going to be the absolute best bang for your buck. You're going to use the code CayVin40, that's CayVin40, and get 40% off every day, or just click the link in the description below of this episode and take advantage of the great offers from Insane Labs. So yeah, it's really good, people. Try it out. Like I said, if you work out, best bang for your buck. If you don't work out, maybe buy it for a friend, maybe just buy it, shove it up your ass. I don't know, whatever you want to do, people. Just buy their supplements. It's good stuff, and Insane Labs has been supporting me especially since day one. So check it out now. Yeah, so that movie looked cool, but then when you look at the score on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 27% audience score.
Oh, okay, that's what matters.
That's what I think will happen with Level 16 is the fact that it looked good, but in reality, maybe that's why they're getting recommended, because
they need the views.
Yeah, if they were really that good, they would. Yeah.
So I guess the plot of the story is what you would say is like that they were taken in at a young age to this, like, what looks like a. I guess it looks like a prison. So every year that they get older, they advance up to an orphanage. They advance up to the next level. But the whole thing is like, they're really strict on making them take their vitamins every day, washing their face every day. They don't go to
school. All they have to do is wash their face every day.
Wash their face. Yeah. And literally, if they don't wash their face, they're fucked. Like, they will get in like trouble and this and that, and then see them
again for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So then they eventually move up until they get to level 16 is when they'll be ready to basically be like sold to like these rich families.
Yeah, they think they're getting sold to. They think they're getting sold to a family to be taken care of and stuff.
Right.
They're not allowed outside. They haven't even seen the sun or the moon because they are told that there's poison outside.
Yeah.
Simple thing to brainwash somebody with, right?
Literally.
And. Yeah, and then come to find out they're actually being sold to, as basically mail order brides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it's
really sad.
It's a crazy plot, but it's just one of those that there's so much dialogue
it just drags.
It's like yes.
It drags on.
Yes.
Yeah, to eventually where we got to the point where we were like, fast forward.
Yes, exactly. But if you want something just to play in the background or maybe someone fall asleep to, good movie.
Yeah, good movie.
The staircase. You go ahead and talk about
the staircase.
I'm
right. Yeah.
I've been asleep while you watch this.
Yeah. So this is a new show on HBO Max. It's about have you heard the case about Michael and Michael Peterson, the man who was arrested for his wife so the story is that they got drunk at night and they were out by the pool, came back inside. She came back inside by herself, apparently fell down the stairs, but so gruesome. There was blood all over the walls.
I was like, what? You
blood.
She fell downstairs, blood everywhere.
Blood all over the walls. And in her autopsy, there's 7 lacerations to her head. And he said that she just fell twice. And the story actually is that they recovered. I mean, this is a known true. This is based on a true story, a known case. So the whole thing so they think that like a fight sparked, and it's because Michael Peterson's bisexual, and he was looking up gay porn on the internet, and his wife found it that night, sparked an argument, and yeah, I think she threatened to out him, and he had to do something about it. And yeah, so this basically it's just like a reenactment or whatever of what actually happened. So I'm not done with it yet, but so far so good.
So he killed her just because she fucking porn on his shit?
Yeah. I didn't understand that either, but it was it was 2002 when this happened,
okay,
or
so
2001.
I guess it was around the time where it's like...
Yeah, it was a no-no.
Around the time where everyone was stupid.
Yeah.
Thought that, yeah. I don't know.
Like,
well, I mean,
people hadn't grown up yet.
Well, I guess it's a whole nother, that's a whole nother political topic we're about to get into. So, I mean, yeah, so I guess it was what it was.
Yeah.
And, damn.
Yeah.
So what part are you at right now?
So I'm at the part where like he just got arrested and his kids are starting to turn on him because they were
not finding out.
Yeah, like she had kids with somebody else, he had kids with somebody else, so they were like a big blended family. And so of course like his stepkids are like coming at him like saying like, why did you do this, blah blah. But I did leave off because they hadn't found a murder weapon yet of like what could have caused the thing. And it turns out that this is how the last episode that I watched ended. It's like a fireplace poker.
Oh my god.
The shape kind of matched.
The one that has a poker and the little curver?
Yep, the curve matched her autopsy photos of like what it could have been, like the third. But yeah. Wow. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But definitely go to watch HBO Max.
Nice.
Yes.
And I guess the last one is Love on the Spectrum.
Love on the Spectrum. I'm so invested in these people. Like I say, I don't want to say kids because they're on the spectrum, but of course they're adults now and they're wanting to find love. Literally, how would you describe this? Like the funniest, most wholesome show. To be honest with you,
it is.
It's so funny.
It's great. It's a great show.
Yes,
and
even you like.
I like the show.
Coming
but
from me,
I like it because there's I love the moments where I have to just go. I can't.
And just like curl up into a ball for a second because you can't.
I just can't look at the screen.
You can't believe what you just heard.
Yes,
it's just.
I'm sorry. Look at The Office. There's love in cringe stuff. It is the most cringiest, lovable, funniest show.
But even like
great
because
show. I want nothing but happiness for all these people.
Especially Steve. Poor Steve.
Oh my God, Steve.
I think his name is Steve. I'm pretty sure.
Somebody hooked Steve up.
Literally.
The only thing I don't like is these producers of these show are the worst at hooking people up. Maybe it works for Rachel.
It worked for Rachel and Sabode.
Yes, that was good. But it's like.
And Abby and David.
So sad. It's like, oh, he left her. He never called her again. Oh, he's still looking for love. Oh, she's still looking for love. It's like these producers are the worst at freaking pairing people up. Mm-hmm. Put them on the CayVin Universe dating line. We'll hook them up with better people.
Yes,
all right?
For sure. And who's your favorite character?
Steve, man. I really.
What
like
about
Steve.
Solomon?
Oh yeah, but they just didn't really show him more because it was more about Danny. Because
Danny was the main person.
I love Solomon, the law of attraction. But there was time, like you said, there was one point where you go, if he says law of attraction one more time.
But like, oh my God.
And then Danny with
Can
the
I just say something about Danny?
Oh my gosh. She wants her freaking love life to be frozen. Okay?
She like wants to be in like some Sailor Moon life.
Of love.
Because somebody needs to tell Danny that's not how life works.
Look how her aunt and uncle are. They just like, oh, she's going on a date again.
And
they're just like, sit her down and say, hey, this isn't a fucking game, all right? This is real life, all right? You're gonna have to find the guy that's gonna work up to Circle K. You gotta work his way up. He's not gonna get into animation just because you say so.
The Circle K.
Just saying. Sometimes beggars can't be choosers, okay?
Yeah.
You just gotta respect people and love them for who they are, not because you like animation.
Yeah, she did mess up with Solomon. She freaking broke his heart. And
I know.
was
that's why I'm mad at
that.
her.
Yeah,
that's why I'm mad at her. Nothing against her. I'm just mad because Solomon, man. I'm invested in this show. What can I say? You get me invested in this stuff.
I know, but it's crazy because like that's one show that like I know that like I can watch and I'm like, oh, I don't think Vinny will be into that. It turns out the next day he's like, "Are we gonna watch Love on the Spectrum?" It's one of those
where I'm walking back and forth to the room, and then you could tell that every time, like the times between I go back, it's shorter. It's like I'll go and it'll be an hour, and then 30 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 5 minutes later, and then next thing you know, I'm just sitting there.
You're just in bed.
Just sitting there with a bag of chips, like, yeah, what do you think about Rachel, huh?
Oh my god. But Abby and David are my favorite.
Oh yeah, they were cool.
Yeah, Abby knows her worth.
Who's the one with the guy that stood her up when she went on a date with the normal guy?
Caylin.
Yeah.
Caylin, fuck you, Peter. If you're listening to this,
I told you. I know how to. I'm just saying. I always through my life I've been known to read people, and literally when I saw him the first time, I said, "Oh, he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
That guy looks like a douchebag." And then
because he
as
didn't
the
have
date
autism,
went on, you were like, "Oh no, he's this," and I was like, "Okay, maybe not." And guess what? Douchebag. Turned out to be a douchebag.
He stood her up, and Caylin did not deserve that.
No. That's one of those where she said she had autism, and he looked up like,
And to be honest with you, Caylin was like the one out of all of them in the show that seemed to be like less on the spectrum, if that makes sense. Like she seemed to have like a minor
like
type of autism.
In control of it.
In control, yeah, is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. She still of course carried the aspects of it, but yeah.
Man.
Justice for Steve though.
Justice for Steve.
Yeah.
Poor Steve, man.
Yeah.
He needs to find love.
Yeah. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, we need to link him up with somebody.
Yeah. We should do like a...
We're going to do the CayVin Universe love matchmaking game.
We should.
So if you're single and you're looking for love, hit us up, cavinpod@gmail.com. We're going to, if we get enough men and women, we'll start pairing them together. And then you already have a common interest. You love the CayVin Universe. So there we go. You know, CayVin Universe, obviously it's not going to happen now.
Y'all can get together and watch the pod.
Obviously it's not going to happen now, but that should be really something we start looking into, building.
Yeah.
The CayVin Universe.
Because we love love.
Yeah, by 100, episode 150.
Okay, that sounds good.
I think that's a long enough goal, right? To have that figured out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's doable.
Or at least by 200.
I know.
Maybe 300 too. One day, when we finally get people, how about we just finally get people that watch this fucking show?
I know.
All right, then we'll do the CayVin Universe love matchmaking game bullshit. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Well, there we go. Short episode, people. They're hitting our music.
The shortest ever.
Yes. Peace and love. And you. We'll hear from us soon.
Bye, guys.
Maybe we should redo that now. We're changing the intro. Now we should redo the end.
I can cough now.
We're still going.
I said bye, guys. What?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.